All right. Well, let me kind of go back. You all started, right? You came. The Full Moon was over around the '80s, but you came and took over around in the '90s.
That's correct.
What advice would you give yourself, maybe 20 years ago, that you know now?
Oh, 20 years ago. That's a good question. I think that taking risk, more risk, than being safe. And I think when you're an individual and you don't have a lot of money, to take a risk like that helped us catapult us where we are today. If we didn't, with the menus and the changes, that we wouldn't be as successful or a family restaurant like we wanted to be.
Well, one thing I've noticed when I did my research on you, and I really kind of love and admire that you say you're in the people business.
We are.
And I just can't explain that a little bit more.
Well, let me tell you, this restaurant is nothing but brick and mortar.
Okay.
With our people running it, operating it, and being who we are as my brother Joe and I, in the stores, if they can't take our place, we will never be as successful. We have to have people who are like people, who want to be around people, and we pretty much do that. It takes time for people to cultivate, to be outgoing and seeing how they are, not as a business owner, but as a personal owner, in a sense of feeling for the people and understand where they are, what they're coming from, and if they have needs, we can go beyond and help them out.
Okay, so you all are very involved in the community. Can you tell the audience some of your past projects? Because I've seen the Full Moon logo, and I guess I can ask you how you come up with that logo in a second. But I see what's some of the
we've done a lot of community involvement because that's what we came from, the community, and we want to always give back to the people who support us. And we've done several things this year because of COVID. One is Feed a Friend. We came up with that during times that people needed to be fed. And we fed every week. We fed, I think, up to 85 to 100 people in a 3-month time that we did it. We dropped off food, didn't ask any questions who nominated them, and they enjoyed it thoroughly. And it felt to us good because we got to give back to the community. And the other thing is we did a blessing called Backpack Blessings for the kids who didn't have the backpacks, who didn't have the schools. Pens, pencils, notebooks, and we did a real nice backpack and gave that to the community through nominations.
All right, and one of the things I've noticed, and in Birmingham, that's like sleep on the rock. There's a lot of full moons all across the area. As far as like growth and expansion, what factors do you all consider when opening up a new location?
First of all, we go in an area that if it's concentrated, that we can be in and dominate in the sense of doing things like we should be doing. We just got open one in Huntsville this year. Great community. They open arms with us, doing real well. We just look, and we're opening another one in Mississippi next year. Because it's an open market, that there's not a lot of competition, and since doing what we do, the old-fashioned way, and we try to embrace a community that's community-minded, family-minded, and that we go into and embrace ourselves with them.
Now, one thing I've noticed, and I say you can go in any of your locations, the amount of sports memorabilia you have in every location. I feel like it's almost like you walk into, it's better than a sports bar, because you all got so many different jerseys, they're all signed, and Alabama, Auburn, UAB, everything.
We love sports. That's what brought us to this environment, is sports, our connections with people in sports. And what we did was just capitalize on what people love. People love sports. They can't live without sports. And so we try to, we make friends with these athletes. They send us their jerseys. We get their jerseys. And we try to always make it a fun place for young kids to come in, watch sports, as well as look at all the history of sports. Football, basketball, any girls swim team, golf, anything.
Well, one thing I want to go back to earlier, and you didn't even, but I want to actually, I'm going to say, congratulate you on this. I can't tell the difference between a franchise Full Moon and a Full Moon that's owned by you all. It's like it's the same identity. And a lot of times when you like franchising, you can tell the difference.
Well, before we franchise, we always make sure the relationship fits with both of us.
Okay.
And they work with us, they train with us, and if we feel like they're not able to do what we do outside the community, I don't bring them on. I don't need a store that bad. You know, I'm not looking at how many stores I can get. I look at how many quality stores we can duplicate that we have to grow like we do.
All right, and I guess 2 more questions. Oh, okay, I know it's about lunchtime, and I smell the barbecue. I almost want to eat something.
We're going to feed you before you leave.
As far as what direction do you see, take COVID out of the picture, see the business going in the next 3 to 5 years? Your business or just the restaurant business?
I think in the next, I don't really look at how many stores I can have in 5 years because, like I said, we go based off of who we have that we train in-house to go out and duplicate what we do. So, for instance, if there's 2-3 people that's in our system now that they grow with us and that we can put in business, we'll do that. And all of a sudden, the locations are easy to find. The money's easy to have. But what it is the people who we have who operate them, that makes the difference. That's who we are. So I'm not looking at competing with anybody and how many stores they have. If I can just do the store that we want to do it right, then we will.
Okay, and well, I guess too, I know, I love getting in front of you because you get somebody and just ask them, just got questions for days. But
that's okay.
2 more prompts. What advice would you give? And I always like to go into the idea of my viewers who's watching, someone that's starting a restaurant to try to get over to the next hump. What advice would you kind of tell them?
Don't cut any corners.
Okay.
Always make the guests that come in like family and give them the best product that you have. You can serve them. As long as you serve someone good quality food with good pricing, you'll be successful. Then after that, it's about location. At what level you want to be at. If you have a great location, of course you can do well, but it's going to cost you a lot more money too. So don't be scared. If you believe in what you do, go for the best location you have and give it your best.
And one final question. This is a very easy question. Might be a challenging question.
Oh, Lord.
In your free time, besides sleeping and spending time with your family, what do you do?
I love spending time with my wife and kids. They're growing in a sense of where they're going in their life. It's always challenging and exciting to see your kids grow up and do what they want to do. And my wife is amazing. She's always with them, so I can always learn from them through their beliefs in the church, giving back to the community, and being a good person internally. Because there's a lot of things out there in the world right now that you don't want your kids to do: smoke, drink, drugs. It all starts at family. So I enjoy being part of that with them to grow their lives where they want to be.
All right.
Do you know what's happening in Birmingham? Find out now with the all-new What's Happening Birmingham app. Download today on Android, iPhone, and iPad for free. Get info on everything you need to know about local news, events, businesses, restaurants, and more. Visit our website, what'shappeningbirmingham.com, follow us on Twitter at HappeningBham, or call us at 205-538-4508. Download the What's Happening Birmingham app today. What's Happening Birmingham, your source for everything Birmingham.